Hi everyone, Nicole here. So today we're going to talk a little bit about the concept of SMART goals. So this is a way of looking at your to-do list a little bit more specifically and realistically. And this is good because often part of the problem with procrastination is we get a little overwhelmed. We don't really know where to start and we kind of freak out rather than see what we have to do. So to think of our goals as SMART goals will be helpful. So looking up the definition, there's a whole bunch of different options. So projectsmart.co.uk says that there are variations which can be used to provide more comprehensive definition of goal setting. So the S can stand for specific, significant, stretching. The M can sometimes stand for measurable, meaningful, or motivational. A can be agreed upon, attainable, achievable, acceptable, action-oriented. R, realistic, relevant, reasonable, rewarding, results-oriented. And T can mean time-based, time-bound, timely, tangible, trackable. So there's a whole bunch of options here, but I'm going to show you the way I like to think of it and explain why. So I think I liked the idea of specific, but I think that if we use the other letters for specific, then that's great. That's covered. And I think asking ourselves why this goal is important can be really important for some of us, especially the rebel type of procrastinators who really need to know why they're bothering with something before they put all this time and energy into it. So if you can stop and think, what am I doing this for? So let's say we have a big paper due at the end of the semester and we think, why does this matter? Maybe the subject itself doesn't matter, but maybe we know that the grade will matter in getting us into grad school later or a program or whatever. So what's your reason? Why does this matter? And then measurable. So the goal has to be measurable. So you have to be able to know when you've done it. So instead of sitting down and being like, oh, it's probably time to study, I'm going to study tonight. That's so vague. So instead of saying I'm going to study tonight, say to yourself, I'm going to write the introduction. Something that you know you can be like, okay, I did it. Check. You can check it off. You can measure your progress on that. Achievable. So this is great. This is great for procrastinators because we often don't really think of a reasonable goal for when we sit down. We kind of just think, oh my God, I have a 20-page paper. That kind of is a way of shooting ourselves in the foot and making us anxious to begin with. So a better way of looking at it is breaking it down to something that seems really achievable. So say you have reading to do, instead of being like, I have to finish my reading. That's very vague and ominous. So sitting down and being like, I have 1 hour, I'm going to read this chapter, and say maybe we actually think we could read 2 chapters. And if we do, that's great, but choose something definitely achievable, and that'll make it less stressful. So realistic is similar. So what's the difference between realistic and achievable? So maybe achievable would be like, yes, I can do 2, or I could tell myself like, oh, well, 1 page is achievable. Maybe I'll just do 1 page. But they're saying like to set realistic goals. So a chapter might be realistic, whereas a page might be achievable. It's more realistic to set a chapter. And then finally, T, so time sensitive. So rather than saying I'm going to I'm going to get this paper done, period. Sorry. Maybe saying something like, I'm going to get this paper done by Saturday night so that I can kind of proof it Sunday. So making it like a time-sensitive goal. So that hopefully makes sense. So I'd love to hear your thoughts. Are any of these ideas helpful? Are some more helpful than the others? So the idea with SMART goals, I think in the context of procrastination, is to be specific and reduce our stress by being specific. So rather than being like, okay, I'm going to be very specific and break down like 100 things, and now I know I have all these things to do and it's overwhelming, it's breaking it down and making sure that it's achievable and measurable. Yeah, realistic and achievable, I think, are so huge. So realistic and achievable means when you're sitting down, you know exactly what one thing you're going to do and you feel as if it's doable and comfortably doable, but not too easy. So yeah, I'd love to hear your thoughts. If you're going to try any of these methods out, you can do it formally, like literally write down your goal in a SMART goal format. So rather than saying, work on the paper this weekend, say to yourself, okay, Friday night, write an outline. Saturday, write the introduction. Sunday, whatever, like be very specific. So if you try this, let me know how it goes. And if you have any thoughts, that's great. And if you're watching this on YouTube, please subscribe because I'd love for more people to be able to find us this way. So we have a Facebook group called Students Conquering Procrastination, and everybody's welcome. And thanks, guys. See you next time.